Hey friends, thank you for stopping by Vine and Thorn Witch. So today I am going to explore ideas on daily practice. So when it comes to a daily practice within witchcraft, I think a lot of people probably think about what spells we're doing every day, what ritual, what ceremony, and after you've been practicing for a long time, that isn't your daily focus as far as being a witch. There's a lot more reading and studying and exploring and different curiosity questions that come about. But on a daily practice, I think the most important books to have is number one, a journal. So sharing ideas, adding dreams in there, adding moments throughout your day that you have had that felt within the realm of magic, or just something that caught your attention and you don't really know why. All of the different things that are interacting with you throughout your day can be added to your journal. And then it's a wonderful resource to go back and check on, say, dream intuitions, or if you've had like a daydream and then it happens, deja vu, blurps, whatever words that we use to call those things, premonition, foresight, all those different things. Having a journal allows you to document it for your own personal validation, and it allows you to also recognize your own personal growth. You can look back. I love going back to journals that I had written, say, in high school or in my 20s, and seeing some of the ways I was looking at things and approaching them and how I perceive them today. And it allows me to recognize my own personal growth and to celebrate a little bit, or maybe to see how maybe to see some things that maybe I can let go that no longer are serving me. So it's this ongoing practice of growth. So the journal would be my most important recommendation for a daily practice within the craft. The second thing that I would recommend is a farmer's almanac. So having awareness of the seasons and having awareness of nature is, for most witches, is a foundational thing. And we can get kind of tied up in the everyday weather of where we live, and unless there's an event that's tragic that happens on the news or such, we can kind of forget about weather happening in other places on the continent that you live on. So in North America, we have the Farmer's Almanac. I don't know what other countries have for that. I guess I could have looked into it, but I'm sorry. But having an awareness by region on the continent on how the season is interacting with, how it's interacting within the crops, the wet season, the dry season, the colds. It's going to affect so many things in our environment, from animals, people, our food production. If you're a gardener, how you're going to approach your own gardening, and it really gets us outside of our own bubble, and allows us to recognize the season as a grander picture, rather than just like a day on the calendar that this holiday is here, beginning of summer, beginning of winter, or anything of the like. So a farmer's almanac is an excellent resource to help us stay connected with the environment. So the other thing that I would suggest is a calendar of some sorts. I like the daily planetary calendar, mainly because it allows me to focus on something that I can never really wrap my head around all the time, with astrology and understanding planetary energies and shifts and all of those things. I have tried making my own charts, and it is not my strong suit. So having a calendar that has all of this written out is really a beautiful tool, because I can then, so if you practice magic in a way where you pay attention to energy signatures, if you practice magic in a way where we pay attention to the way our personal energy is interacting with the world around us, then sometimes the planetary awareness is going to guide us on how we're going to do a certain spell. And for me, I practice that, but also if I've been having a difficult day or a really good day, I can go and I can see what planet it's in and recognize my own personal energy and relationship with that energy that is occurring at that time. Excuse those crunchy noises. Jack has found the orange slices that he's now rolling on. So the planetary guide, if you're not interested in that, what I would recommend is a calendar that has at least the lunar, so then you can understand the connection with the lunar energies. Okay, so the final thing that I would recommend for a daily practice, so those things I look at in the morning. The Farmer's Almanac is more like seasonal, but the other two are more in the morning. In the evening, I try to focus on something very simple: poetry. I love poetry. And you can have a very simple poem. It doesn't have to be Robert Frost. It can be something very simple. And my favorite right now is Nikita Gill. So just opening it to whichever page. So graveyards and gardens. There are graveyards inside of you made of people that made you ache, made of memories that you barely survived, made of trauma and heartbreak. These graveyards need to become gardens where you plant flowers that bloom for you to let go. So ending my day with that, or beginning it, and having that art in my mind kind of embraces my day in different ways, and it'll linger and pop up. I'll forget about it, and then it'll pop up somewhere throughout the day where I think about things. And graveyards and gardens, the whole planet in some regard is a graveyard because it recycles everything that is natural in nature. And so thinking about that in our own personal graveyards, our ancestors, and how we can turn those things into flowers. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Okay. So there are those things. There are other things that are also within the realm of poetry, but not as much, like Emily Sylvia's Moonlight Gratitude. There's also a Sunrise Gratitude. And these are, so every year it starts over. So you have the days that you would read something. And this gives inspiration on different energies. Sometimes it resonates and sometimes it doesn't. But I would really get into a daily practice of poetry and language and the art of thinking and the art of bringing that thinking into the way that you see and perceive the world and how that reflects back onto you. So those are my recommendations for everyday witchcraft and what I do on my daily practice. So hopefully you got something out of this. If you didn't, then thank you for the view. Thank you for staying towards the end, and if you did receive something from it, all the more blessings. Thank you, and be kind to each other, and happy witching.